Today is August 11th, 2025, and I have officially been a lash business owner for 5 whole years. 5 consistent years. This is all of the work that I have done building a business, starting from complete scratch, and now I have a full blown career in the lash industry. I would have never thought this would be a thing that I did. I would have never imagined, first of all, being in the beauty industry. My dream since high school was to be a social worker. I knew I wanted to be a therapist and help people, and so that's really what I was set up for. I graduated high school, went to the Prairie View A&M University, and I obtained my bachelor's degree in social work. A year later, I obtained my master's degree in social work from Texas A&M Commerce. A few months after that, I became a licensed master social worker. I was on my way to becoming a licensed clinical social worker, and my goal was to open my own private therapy practice for Black people, Black communities, because we are underserved communities, and we don't oftentimes feel like therapy is for us. So I just wanted to totally shatter that narrative and help, my community, my people. And I was a middle school social worker at the time. My very first job was director of social services at a nursing and rehab center. And then after I left there, I had my dream job as a school social worker where I was working with middle school students and basically doing therapy for them. COVID hit. The world shut down. The principal at my school called me in April. I had just moved out of my parents' house in February. Called me in April, told me that they were cutting the position of the school. And I'm like, okay, cool. I wasn't planning to come back to this place anyway. And over the summertime, I was applying for other jobs. And I either wasn't getting the jobs or the job pay was just way too low for 2 degrees and a license. And so, no. And one day in July, here I am on FaceTime with my two best friends, aka the twins. And the Lord puts it on my heart, in my mind, oh, I want to take a lash class. And I felt like that was so random because it was. I had only had my lashes done twice. One in, I think, 2017, and one like 6 months before this for my birthday, and I had gotten my lashes done. I didn't follow any lash artists on social media, knew nothing about the lash world, nothing. And the next day after I shared that with them, a class popped up on my timeline. I did not take that particular class, but my now husband, his cousin did lashes and taught lashes, so I booked with him. And man, it was up from there. And I can't, let me not say up from there, because there was struggle along the way. That was in August 11th, today, 5-year anniversary. But I took that class in August. 2 months later, in October, I was enrolled into cosmetology school for a specialty lash license. And yeah, I went to do my final interview for my final social work job. This is what I really thought was going to be my dream job. It was doing what I was doing at the middle school, but across multiple campuses, so I wouldn't be tied down at a school. And I would be employed through the actual social work department with the district and not employed through the school. So I was super excited about that. They called me back for a second interview in January of 2021. And I told God, all right, God, if I don't get this job, I'm going to trust that you want me to go full time with this lash business. And I did not get that job. And I honored my word on going full time with the lash business. And I trusted him. And he has sustained me for a whole 5 years. It is crazy. I remember when my skills were so bad. My lashes were terrible. The lash line on those looks were terrible. Just, it was all terrible. My isolation was terrible. My marketing to get clients was terrible. Terrible is just the first step, and you have to be terrible. You have to be terrible to get better. Like, if I didn't have those days where I was on my way home from my first lash space crying because a field took me 3 hours to do, I wouldn't be here with fields at an hour and a half or lesser time. Like, you have to, if my marketing was never trash, I wouldn't be able to help other lash artists with their marketing. What started in my living room is just, a little side hustle, praying that it'll get me through with my unemployment, became my full-blown career, and I'm just so grateful to God that he has taken me from living room lashes to industry stages. I have had the privilege, the opportunity, the honor to speak at lash conferences all over the country. My very first lash conference I spoke at here in Dallas, Texas was July 2024 Elite Lash Convention, and then I was able to go to Miami for the International Lash Expo, aka ILE, and I was a panelist at that conference. 2 months after that, y'all, 2024 was popping, okay? 2 months after that, I spoke at the biggest lash conference in the industry. I spoke at LashCon in a breakout session, and in all of these spaces, I'm teaching marketing and branding for lash artists. LashCon was the last event that I did in 2024. 2025 brought me to a season of real stillness, real quiet. And I'm like, God, we got all this momentum. We were just rocking last year. Why are we sitting down now? But it has allowed me a lot of rest. This year has allowed me a lot of rest. And I did not know that a realignment was coming for my business. So now I understand why he had me sitting down resting. Because, baby, now that he has given me his new vision for our business, and I say our business because God is the CEO. I do what he tells me to do. And when I do things without consulting him, they fall flat, baby. Flat, okay? I have no energy to do them. I have no real direction, and I'm looking in this direction because I have a whiteboard in this room and it just has everything on there. Well, a lot of the things on there. And I'm just like, wow, I just really believe that he's about to do even more amazing things. 5 years, half a freaking decade. And I just know that this is only somehow the beginning. And I am so grateful. So yeah, this year we've been chilling. I did get to share at the Beyond Beauty Brunch in Tyler, Texas, and I got to speak at Lash Boss Summit. Lash Boss Summit is now my go-to annual lash conference in Austin, Texas. Okay, it was perfect for so many reasons. If you have questions about Lash Boss Summit, drop a question. I'll answer it, and if it's a question that requires detail, I'll make another video about conferences or either Lash Boss Summit specifically, but that was the conference. I spoke in front of the biggest crowd at this conference. So although LashCon was the bigger conference, the way the Lash Boss Summit is set up is everybody gets to listen to everybody. And all the speakers are heard. Everybody's learning in the same room, and I just loved it. So anyway, I got to speak at Lash Boss Summit, and that was in April of this year, and I've been sitting down since. I was able to take the summer off to take a break. I was still lashing clients, but I wasn't really educating lash artists. And again, like I said, I understand why God brought me a couple of steps. I don't want to say back, but just kind of shielded me, protected me, gave me rest, so that I can go all in for what he's giving me now. So I just wanted, my YouTube channel. I started YouTube, I think in like February or March of 2021. That was right after I started lash school and went full-time with my lash business. And some of my YouTube followers, y'all have been here since the very beginning, the early stages when I had no hair, when I had a little pink fro, when I had a blonde fade, when I was having a little, I don't know what the heck that mohawk situation was. It was terrible. I was trying to grow it out so I could get like a big natural twist out with my natural hair, but baby, I was finding myself during those years, and y'all have been here through it all, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. The Lord is kind. Building this lash business is the hardest thing I've ever done. College had nothing on this. My 2 jobs in the social work field had nothing on this, yet this has been the most rewarding experience in a career ever. I didn't think that I could actually love a job. So to all the lash artists out there, whether you're a new lash artist, you're less than 5 years, you got more than 5 years in, look, if you really believe that God called you to own and operate this business, let him be your CEO. Tap in with him, listen to him, ask him the questions that you don't know. I did not know how to create a content strategy or marketing plan just a few years ago, and I literally prayed and asked God. I was like, you know how to do all things. I need you to teach me this. And y'all, he did. And now I get to help other lash artists. Like, let him be the CEO. Let him tell you what you need to do. And sometimes you're not going to like it. Sometimes you're not going to agree. I wanted to be on go in 2025 because we were on go in 2024. We rocking, we rolling. But he knows better. He always knows better. So let him lead you and just stick it out. A lot of entrepreneurship is just hanging in the fighting to keep your business alive. And if you believe that you're supposed to be here, he's going to sustain you and he's going to give you everything that you need to keep fighting and to keep going. So, woo! Thank y'all for being here for my little 5-year recap. I didn't want to make this long. I'm just so excited and so appreciative. If you do not follow me on Instagram, that is where I am most active and engaged. My Instagram profile handle is IAMTEE the brand. So that's IAMTEETHEBRAND. I think that's my YouTube handle as well. So please come follow me over there on Instagram. Ask your questions, laugh with me, and just build this business with me. Be a part of my community because I'm always sharing whatever I can to help lash artists thrive and blossom, grow, flourish in the lash industry and in their own way. Thank y'all again so much, and cheers to 5 years and 5 more.